Why send you away? Don't they?
Well, they went to. My father went to this boarding school.
I see.
So I kind of went to the same boarding school he did, and I tell you the reason why they. You want to know why they sent me away?
Yeah. You were a pain in the ass.
You were a Giant fan. My kid was a Giant fan. I said, "You're going to fucking California to school."
In 8th grade, I went to St. Paul's in Garden City, Long Island.
Okay.
And that spring, I got a 50 on my Spanish exam.
Oh, forget it.
And my mother loves Spanish, bilingual, everything else. And she took it as an assault to her being that her little son got a 50 in a Spanish final. She got so mad at me, they said, we got to get him out of here to have him do something. So I ended up at Darrow's school.
Is this at all boys?
No, co-ed, 135
co-ed.
kids.
Did you have your first sexual experience at that school? I would bet you did.
I knew that was coming.
Why not?
Can I lie, Robin? Can I lie?
Why would you lie about that?
No, I did not.
Were you sports guys generally get laid at an older age? They're more, you know what I mean? I'm going to guess.
As my wife always tells me, sports is my mistress.
Right, it's true. I would bet as a kid you were more interested in sports than girls.
Absolutely.
And then when girl fever hit, okay.
When did girl fever hit?
I'm going to tell you what. I say you were a virgin until you were 20.
Oh, dear.
Do I have to give you an answer on this?
Give me an answer. Give me a yes or no. Come on.
The answer is yes.
Really?
No.
I hate to be honest with you.
You know how you are good at calling what's going to happen in sports?
Right.
I'm good at figuring out when people lose their virginity.
That's a good read.
I knew
so
sports
you were in
guys.
college?
Yeah, Rollins, too. Rollins, Winter Park, Florida. And that's a very intimidating school.
Yeah.
A lot of pretty girls.
Was that the first girlfriend you ever had?
No, I had a couple girlfriends at Darrow, but
you couldn't close
Rollins,
the deal.
Yeah, the first couple girlfriends. And I was an independent. I wasn't a fraternity guy.
Right.
So that also takes you out of the loop a little bit because it's a fraternity-oriented school.
That's in the middle of Orlando?
Are you like me?
6 miles away.
Are you like me? Do you wonder where that first girl is and you want to say to her, hey, honey, you should have stuck with me and you wanted to see your new $3 million a year contract? Come on. Did you call her or try to get in touch with her?
Howard can count money-wise, too, right? Can he not?
Well, Howard, he knows she's in the same business as he is. It's Susan Waldman.
That's good funny, man.
Now, wait a second. I want to know something.
That's funny.
Do you fantasize about, did that girl give you the heave-ho? You were in love with her?
The first girl that I really was in love with was a girl by the name of Denise Betts.
Right. Have you been in touch with Denise?
No, I have not.
Look at me. Now I got $3 million a year in the bank.
I have not. I'll give you a story about Denise, though, real quick.
Okay.
I went out with her when I was in Orlando. No, I did love her, I must admit.
Right.
When I was there when I was in Orlando, when I worked at WKS in Orlando, that summer, this is in probably 85 or 86, so that summer, good relationship. At the end of that summer, I was walking down the Winter Park Art Festival. It's a famous art festival in Central Florida. And she had been distant the last 2 weeks. I was walking down with a buddy of mine, and I saw her holding hands with somebody else.
I'm so sorry.
I was crestfallen.
Yeah, that's rough.
But there's an end to the story.
Go ahead.
When I got out of Orlando 7 months later to take a job at WMCA, Rick Sklar hired me, sent a tape up. I came up to do shows. Out of nowhere, I get this job at MCA.
Wow.
7 months later, she wrote me a letter.
I want you back.
And it was the sort of letter that was pre-holding hands boyfriend Winter Park Arts Festival. So there's my little example.
Wait a second. When you got hired in New York radio?
87.
87. WMCA. What were they at that point? A talk station?
They were still a talk station. They went to Strauss Communications that just sold them to Federal Broadcasting out of Detroit.
Right.
But Sklar was in charge, and he was a legendary guy.
Sure, Rick Sklar.
So he hired me to do sports talk on weekends and morning drive sports, and that's a job I had to take.
And so Rick Sklar was the guy who
$54,000 a year.
He figured that you would be a good host of a show.
The ad and broadcasting magazine said, if you talk like a New York sports fan, send tape and resume to such and such.
So did you go into a studio somewhere and do an imaginary talk show?
No, I was doing talk shows in Orlando at this point.
Okay.
So I came up. They flew me up to New York. I did two shows and a couple of updates, flew back down to Orlando, Florida. 10 days later, Sklar calls me up on the phone on St. Patty's Day weekend, 87, says, listen, talks, I can tell he's into it. He says, if you're the guy we decided to hire. Can you get here in 2 weeks?
Did you like working for Sklar?
Well, he was only a consultant for the station.
Okay.
So once I got there, he kind of disappeared and went to go do something else.
So
he was in charge of finding the programming for the station.
Somebody told me that when you first came to New York, your first job in New York, you had to pay the radio station.
No, that's not true.
That's a rumor?
That's not true. No, that's
Sklar. What in the world are you talking about?
MCA.
Like one of those deals where you go in and
you buy the time.
You buy the time.
But no, that was not the case.
Howard, on the internet it says I did coke in the fucking 90s.
It did? Well, I don't believe that.
So he gave me $54,000 a year, and I did Saturdays and Sundays, and Monday through Thursday morning drive sports with a crazy shot.
So you were a hot shot DJ in the South. You were kind of a sports
hot shot's
guy.
a little strong.
You were dating women. You were getting it on.
Denise Betts at the festival.
Did it get wild? Did you experiment with drugs?
Remember? No, I did not.
You did not. Never. Have you ever smoked pot?
In college?
In college, you smoked pot?
I can't lie about that.
No. Did you try coke?
No, I did not.
Him on blow must be forget about it.
Remember, I went to boarding school, Howard.
All right, but
things
still,
happen in boarding
things
school.
Go crazy. You started to go to your head. You were getting some success.
No, I'm not like that.
You're not like that at all. You're a level-headed guy.
Hopefully.
You're a level-headed guy.
I'm not wrapped up in
It's not going to go to your head
You know what I'm wrapped up in right now?
What are you wrapped up in?
I'm wrapped in right now. I'm making sure I get this channel to be as good as I possibly can do.
And this is not going to go to your head.
God, no.
Channel.
God, no.
Mad Dog.
I'll tell you, what I'm wrapped up right now? I want to make sure Mel gets his money back.
Right. Okay, that's a fair. That's good. And I was going to ask you about that. This is a whole new ball game for you. And when you were at WFAN, you go on the radio with your partner. You made a lot of money for the station.
Team up?
You made a lot of.
They teamed us up in 1989.
But you made a lot of money with your partner. This and that. The other. This thing is, Mel's looking at you. He's saying, "Hey, in sports, I need you to bring in subscribers. We're hoping people who listen to you on FAN are going to come over here and listen to you." There's a bit of pressure.
Right.
How will you know you're succeeding? How will you know? What is the measurement here?
Well, I'll tell you one measurement. Mel's quote.
What was that?
The day after I did this Blue press conference.
Right.
He said, by the amount of people here, he's already made my investment back.
Is that right?
Now, I don't think Mel may have just said that, make me look good, you know, but that kind of quote is what I'm looking for. I want to make sure that when this is over in 5 years or whenever it might be over,
that your
that
fans
they
are
got
satisfied.
I gave them a good talk show. B, we gave them a decent channel. And C, the company, you know what? Giving Russo all this money, at least on my terms, not on yours, of course, but giving Russo all this money, it was a worthwhile investment. If I can do that, I did my job. That's what I'm looking at it right now.
In other words, what you're saying is this is a chance for you to step out on your own. The big controversy when you worked with your partner, Mike Francesca, was who is really the draw? Is it Mad Dog? Is it the other guy?
Or is it Mike and the Mad Dog only?
Right.
That's true, too.
Right.
Could it be just, we don't know that. We haven't answered that question
Is
yet.
it Lennon-McCartney, or can these guys exist on their own?
Are you nervous going out on your own?
No, really not.
You're not?
No, not at all.
You feel good about it?
Howard, I went to Jacksonville, Florida by myself in an AMC Gremlin in 1983.
Right.
Orlando. If I did that, I could do this.
But the big success came when the two of you were teamed up.
That's true, too.
And
you can make that all right. But obviously people think that I can do this solo. Mel wouldn't have given me this contract. Scott Greenstein wouldn't have given me this contract.
Are you happy to be solo now? Or were you
I think Mike's happy, too.
Yeah.
I think Mike likes the idea that he has the real estate on FAN. He does 5 hours a day.
Have you listened to Mike on his own radio show now?
No, I haven't yet.
You haven't? Why not? Why haven't you listened to the show?
I probably realized that I'm trying to move forward a little bit. I'm trying to focus in on what I have to do here, so I try to stay away as much as possible. It'd be like me listening to shows before I went to work every day. I never listen to the station because I don't want to be influenced by calls, by what the other hosts are doing.
In other words, you want to have a genuine opinion.
There you go.
When you prepare,
I don't want to be swayed.
But wait a second. When you prepare for your sports show, when you do a 4-hour gig or something, 5 hours here.
And by the way, 5 hours here is like, you probably feel the same. It's like 6 hours. I did one show last Thursday at the ESPN Zone. 5 hours on our thing is 6 hours over on FAN.
That's right.
It's a lot. It's harder to do the longer show.
They run the risk of burning you out in the sense that maybe 3 hours a day would be better because, you know, how much sports can you really talk about?
I can talk about it.
You can.
I'll figure out a way to get through the 5. Artie knows. He's been listening for a long time.
Once you give all your opinions of the day and you talk about all the games
I
and the
do
teams.
goofy things. I do the movies. I do books.
You don't just talk about
I'll do some stuff.